To illustrate a few converging themes, let's look at the single greatest monument to Roman extravagance, the Colosseum. This neighborhood of the city had burned down in 64 AD, swiftly to be replaced with a palace for the exceptionally crazed Emperor Nero, and then replaced again by the new Emperor Vespasian, the victor in a brief but fierce four-way civil war after Nero's death. Vespasian's plan to legitimize his new Flavian dynasty was essentially to bribe the Roman people with a grand public project and the promise of splendid games in said arena once it was done. This Herculean accomplishment relied not just on Rome's wealth, talents, and technologies like concrete, but on an imperial system specifically designed to make these projects possible. State-owned stone quarries and brickyards produced standardized building materials which could be used for whatever the emperor needed, and as far as Rome was concerned, slavery was just as vital to Rome's growth, development, and success, as every stage of buildings like the Colosseum relied in part on slave labor, first in the mines, quarries, and brickyards, then in working alongside freedmen and day laborers to actually build these megaworks, and once the Colosseum was finished, slaves fought in the arena to the delight of tens of thousands. Somewhere around a quarter of the empire's population was enslaved and treated like property. From the fields to the cities, the institution of slavery permeated every aspect of Roman society. The potential cognitive dissonance between Rome's accomplishments and the cruelty of its methods was of distressingly minimal concern to the Roman people, as the Colosseum itself shows how casually Romans went to a magnificent theater for the sole purpose of watching people get f***ing bodied. Gladiatorial matches were the most notorious of festivities, but there were also beast hunts, chariot races, and, when they were feeling bold, entire naval battles, all of which could be themed and choreographed to represent famous stories from history and myth. Even when celebrating peace, the Romans loved a violent spectacle. Zooming back out, let's jump northwest to Britannia, where Emperor Claudius' first foray into the Isle was later consolidated by Agricola, the governor who conquered Wales and northern England during the reign of Vespasian.